have a very special guest this week. As you know, we asked filmmakers on Kinema, what do they want to hear us cover on this podcast? And we covered the top 6 topics last week. And this week, we're going to drill into one that was under marketing called press and publicity, and specifically how to get it. In wondering who we should talk to about this, our head of marketing, Ami Vora, had a great idea, as she usually does. And that was to talk to the Richard Rushfield. He is editor-in-chief of the industry publication, The Ankler. And if anyone knows how to pitch a writer in Hollywood, it's Richard Rushfield. Richard has covered Hollywood and American culture as a reporter, editor, and critic for over 20 years. He's been at the Los Angeles Magazine, Vanity Fair, LA Times, Daily Beast, Gawker, BuzzFeed, Yahoo, and was even the editor-in-chief of the website Pitflix. But in this conversation, we get so much more than just how to connect with a journalist or how to pitch a writer. Richard breaks down what it actually takes to succeed in the industry if you really want it. I'm Christy Marchese on the Kinema podcast, Have You Seen My Film? And this is our conversation with editor-in-chief of The Ankler, Richard Rushfield. And here we are with Richard Rushfield. Hi, Richard. How are you?
Great. How you doing, Christy?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited to chat with you. I read your stuff on The Ankler, so I've been following you for a while. I remember when The Ankler launched. Actually, now I don't remember. Was it 5 years ago? How many years ago was that?
It seems like 7. I
Was it
don't.
7?
I
It was before the
I don't know
pandemic.
time anymore, but
It's a construct anyway.
yeah. I'm thinking. I think 7 is my best guess.
Okay, wow. Well, thank you. You guys are 100% leader in the industry.
Thank you very
right now,
much.
so congratulations. And thank you so much for doing this. I have a bunch of questions for you. You know everything that's been going on in the industry, yes. And you were just on the ground at the Toronto Film Festival. So for those of us who haven't been following on the Ankler, on your Substack, give us a quick recap. Like, what are the vibes? Is there any chance you are more optimistic, or are you less optimistic about the industry coming back?
I come back optimistic about filmmaking and optimistic about audiences, which should equal being optimistic about the industry. You know, Toronto's such a huge festival. There's so many films.
That's maybe 170. I think I heard at some point. Yeah.
It's a huge number. See, I saw 8, which is just a tiny sliver. It's but you hear about them all, and what you come away with is there's lots of filmmakers from around the world doing great work. We still have stories to tell, still excited about making movies, and they have huge crowds for them there at in Toronto. And then the local people turn out for them, and the local people coming in for the festival. So it's packed houses for very obscure third world micro budget filmmaking, even as well as the big Hollywood premieres. You come away thinking like, this is a very vital medium. My indicator was, so the Criterion Closet sets up there.
Oh, I saw your video. That was so good.
Thank you very much. Do you approve of my picks, or?
I would never judge the picks. You know far more about me, and I shamefully I think there were 2 out of the 3 I hadn't seen.
They start the line at 8 a.m. to get into it, and they immediately shut. There's hundreds of people amassed on the street waiting to get in, sort of pre-line, waiting to get into the line. And they have to shut down almost immediately because almost immediately there's so many people that it will take the people at the end until 7 p.m. when they close to together. So there's hundreds.
And how does this work? It's a closet. It's a DVD closet.
It's a closet inside of a little trailer that they move around. And I think the people who wait online, they don't even get free DVD. That get like 40% off on the.
So it's not even. They still got to pay.
I mean, they're going in there to film themselves to take a picture of themselves, Criterion Closet, and make
for the Instagram
video of it. So that's the thing. But so every day there are hundreds of people willing to stand online for 10 hours to take their picture in the Criterion Closet. So that's a pretty good indicator for me.
I mean, will that prove the DVD market can come back if there's that many people waiting in line?
It proves that there's a lot of people that for whom film is still a special thing, and they're excited about it and want to be a part of it. Back here in Hollywood, the news about the industry just gets worse and worse. So I don't have a lot of faith there.
You want to crawl back into that DVD closet, go back to your happy place.
If the film. There's a lot of filmmakers doing new things with a lot of innovation and a lot of imagination, and there's an audience that wants to see all that. So somehow, if those two people could connect, and Hollywood can just get out of the way of that process, there should be a good world there. But how that happens, we have to see.
That is what the answer we're looking for. How do we figure that out? We see this all the time at Kinema. We see these great films that didn't get picked up or didn't get the right offer. We have audiences who want to see them. We're trying to find a better way to connect. But part of the problem or the difficulty and the challenge is marketing. How do we find each other? How do these films find each other? That's part of what we're not that you'll have all the answers, but if you can help maybe guide us towards some, particularly as it relates to press and communications. And like before we dive into it, I mean, you've been in the industry for a while. You've worked with everyone from LA Times to BuzzFeed. Apparently, you know more than anyone about American Idol.
So much that I wrote a book about it.
It's exactly. And my favorite thing that I didn't know about you was your coverage of, what was it, Lonely Girl
Yes,
115?
I unmasked Lonely Girl. I broke
You
the Lonely
did.
Girl.
And I was working at a nonprofit running social media
All right.
campaigns when Lonely Girl was unmasked. I was like, I'm impressed. So thank you for
Thank
that.
you. That was a crazy. Thankfully, I didn't have kids when I did that because it was a lot of all-nighters making crazy walls connecting
Oh
people and
my.
everything.
That's okay. If
So
anyone does not know this story, please just look up like Lonely Girl 115, Richard Rushfield. Look for the
this was
story.
this was the first YouTube star.
Yeah.
Um, at the dawn
First
of
creator. Yeah.
digital media. Yeah.
Well, so what's changed, not just since Lonely Girl, but what's changed in the last 5 years in the entertainment industry, but particularly related to journalism? We've seen some consolidation. We've seen a lot more. There's many more press outlets besides just traditional press. What's changed in the last 5 to 7 years that we should be paying attention to?
Traditional journalism and media covering Hollywood is in pretty bad shape, and what's left of it is uninspiring and not particularly influential in any real way. I mean, it kind of is because it's the one thing that's there. So something is better than nothing, but it's not that much better than nothing.
Okay, that's my gym mantra. Something's better than nothing. Just get out the door.
Exactly.
That's Well, what are you seeing then? So what's like what are there more pitches coming through to cover a wider range of films? Is it now just working with the big studio streamers and no coverage on the smaller films?
It's just very sporadic. For the trade world, their coverage is very much tied up into the Oscar race.
Mm,
So they are really just cover independent film as a way of covering the Oscar race, which means that if you're not with a distributor who has a Oscar budget, all that stuff, it's very hard to get noticed from the trade world. I think what there is, though, is a much larger world outside of traditional media to begin to market these things. You go through a lot of trouble to get Variety to do an interview with your director. And
yeah.
they do an interview with your director, and it's one of 50 interviews with directors they have that weekend. That's great. You feel like, okay, we're in Variety, but it doesn't really move the needle
Yeah.
on itself. Again, it's better than nothing, but not that much better.
It
Um,
makes your investors feel better if you have an article to point to. But when we often talk with the filmmakers we work with, it's, if your goal is audience or if your goal is ticket sales, the trades might not be the right answer. If your goal is career or pushing your career forward, like then it might make sense to work with a publicist. Would you agree?
yes, exactly. If you see this film as sort of a calling card, get a better agent to get representation, to get meetings and all that, then the trades sort of help you on the map. If you're looking to reach the audience, I mean, not just the trades, but even like the traditional magazines, Vanity Fair, Entertainment Weekly, I don't
Mm.
know that they have any impact on anyone for anything anymore.
Sure, too. Like for the general audience, it's just all of us that work in the industry reading about ourselves in the industry.
I suppose a little profile in Vulture means something, but what means much more is, especially if you're an independent film, there's an audience of independent film enthusiasts
Yeah.
online that you can reach in a variety of ways. I'm on Substack, and there's a really, excited, vibrant community of independent filmmakers on Substack that all communicate with each other, very supportive, and we're talking about starting events and things. There's TikTok, there's Letterboxd, there's an amazing hub of excitement. So making an impact there, I just think is 1,000 times more important.
It's interesting. So like the new wave of marketing and press is not just it's going out getting someone to write about you. It's actually not even just posting on social. It's being a participant in that community. in order to help connect. Would you recommend like to filmmakers or people in the creative industry to be more active on Substack or TikTok, or how do they decide?
You've got to find what's right for you, what feels like a fit for you, filmmakers have a very visual sense. So if you can use that on TikTok and put that to your use, I'm a writer, so Substack is where I feel most comfortable. And Twitter, Facebook, all those I pretty much have given up on and don't pay much attention to anymore.
That's actually probably that's healthy. Yeah, that's a
Yeah, it's the way that you traditionally done it, and the way that like I get, every day dozens of pitch letters from publicists, like dozens of them. And 90% of them have nothing to do with what I write. It's like, please come and cover the boat show in San Pedro.
that sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's just things that haven't,
Yeah.
it's just not,
It's not your beat.
it's
Yeah.
not what I write about at all. And it's like, I'm on.
Oh, that's like a literal boat show. That's not like a movie about a boat show.
No. Like
a premiere at a boat show.
Yeah.
Oh, it's literally a boat show.
Yeah, or we're opening this new condo complex in the desert. Come and write about it, and just things that are not anything related to what I cover. Or that's 90% of what's in my inbox.
Wow.
But it's also like the traditional way they do it is you start about 3 weeks before a movie comes out. You get hit with the emails about, would you come to the screening? Would you like to speak to our filmmaker? It usually comes down to that. Come to the screening. Would you like to speak to our filmmaker? And, you get a lot of those.
How do you decide?
I don't go to most of them.
Okay.
I mean, for me, I don't really interview filmmakers, so it's not usually what I do. But, I'm also always looking for stories, looking for things. And there's just got to be something that makes this stand out beyond like, here we have this film at won fourth place of the jury at Deauville, and the exciting cinematographer, and come to the screening at 11 a.m. There's just got to be some beat.
There's got to be something there, yeah.
There's a very brilliant Substacker who writes about film named Tepper. She also has has a TikTok, and she just did a post about marketing your independent movie, and she made the important point, like, you need to have the marketing plan like before you start shooting the movie, and you need to know before you start shooting, you need to know who the audience is, how you're gonna reach them, like what's gonna affect them. And with reporters, like, don't wait until 2 weeks before your movie is coming out to reach out. Like, start talking to them as soon as you know you have a movie. Start reaching out people. Tell them about your dream, your vision for this, what you're doing. Bring them into the journey, like long before, 2 years before there'll be anything for them to write about. So that when that day comes, they know about you and they have some investment in it. Otherwise, you're just another email with a screening for a thing you never heard of.
Yeah.
And how do you decide which of those 50, if any, you're going to go to?
It's really good. So when we say something similar with audiences, it's like showing up 3 weeks before your film's premiering in a theater or going online and just saying, go watch my film. Now you're just asking something. You haven't built a relationship. You haven't driven curiosity. It works better if you can create that curiosity and they want to see the film. They're asking to see more from it. But for reporters, for audiences, you can build your Substack, add people to it, build social handles. For reporters, to speak tactically, like, do you just randomly email them like a Dear Diary, just keeping you updated? Can you add, or what if someone just added your email to their email list or Substack to keep you updated? Like, is that a good idea or a bad idea?
I mean, I think there's nothing like meeting a person IRL, as they say. Yeah, you should always, any chance you can find to like get coffee with someone, meet them, like connect if you're at a festival, connect there for a few seconds, like, 15 minutes getting, standing on a street at a festival is worth, 500 emails. Like,
I think you're so right. Yeah.
And if you are just a name in my email box, even if we've had a lot of emails, like, you're not really substantial to me.
No, it makes sense. It's film festivals. I get it. Like, it's expensive to go. But you don't have to go to the big ones too. It's like the smaller ones where wherever you're in Los Angeles, I'm in New York City, the regional ones. Yeah.
There's probably a film festival like within 5 blocks of wherever you're sitting right now.
Yep.
Go to it, meet people, network, talk to everyone there. Like
Yeah.
just hang out and get to know people, and that makes a big difference.
That's so true. Did you know there's a Burbank Film Festival? I just learned that today. I did not know that from my Aunt Sharon called me and asked me if I was going to go there because my cousin's working there now. I'm like, I did not even know. So now it's on
I'll
my list.
I'll be moderating a panel in 3 weeks at the Montclair Film Festival, which
Oh,
I didn't know
that's
exactly. You
that
know
was a
about
good
the
one. I do know about
Montclair's a good
Montclair.
one?
That
Oh,
I've heard
okay.
Montclair's a good one. I've heard good things about it. I've yet to go.
That's what they tell me.
Yeah. Well, it's got more of a reputation than at least Burbank. Not to disparage Burbank. Sorry, I'm from the area, but I'm excited my family will be there. So what else? So it sounds like in order to get we're talking about a couple of things. Like press attention is helpful if it's the right type of press, I guess. So industry press may not be helpful to you, but if you're building your career, spend some time going to festivals to meet people in person, update them early. Don't wait last minute. What are some other kind of good practices before we get to the bad ones?
Know what is special about you. Everybody, we all think what we do is special. So it's special because I think my column is special because it's a column that I wrote today. So everyone should read that column because it's from me and I'm special. And so everything we do that it's got to be the best of something. It doesn't do to be one of 60 things that are good this month. Like you've got to be the best of something, the best romance, the best vision inside this little community. Like you really know what is special about your movie and what you're doing that nobody else can claim, or that if they can claim, you can just say, yeah, 1,000 times better than what they do. You just have to be the top of something. You can't just, everybody sort of wants to find their way into the herd because you feel safe and comfortable in the herd.
Yeah.
But the herd is not getting through. Like
Yeah.
the herd is where you go to die. So find your way out of the herd by any means possible.
Okay, I'm gonna go even dig in a little bit because I think about some of the films we work with, and I want to pass this on to them. Do you say like broad and hard to defend? Like, I think this is the best directed film, or do you say like I think this is the best appearance by a 1997 Ford Corolla in any scene? Like, do you get specific?
I mean, yeah, that gives you
Toyota
something.
Corolla. I said Ford Corolla. I clearly don't know cars. Sorry. Go ahead.
That gives you something to talk about. There's a site. What's the site called? There's a Wikipedia for cars and movies
Really?
that catalogs every. It's fun
Every
to
car
browse
that's
and
ever
look.
been a movie. Oh, that's
So
cool.
you can look up like 95 Toyota Corolla. And you can find every appearance of 95 Toyota Corollas in films.
So you could really say, I promise this is the best 95 Toyota Corolla that's ever been in a film.
For the people on that site who are active, I mean, that's a very vibrant community, the cars and films.
I love this.
They spend a lot of that, like that would be a good pitch to them.
Okay, very cool. Okay,
Yep.
that got it. So you're thinking pitches not just for trades press or press in general, but those communities. So when you're going out to communities, thinking about why is this the best for them?
You made a film. That's a huge thing to do. It's a huge undertaking. Like you had a reason why you did that, and what was your reason for doing that? Why did you go on this really hard journey? What was it that persuaded people to join you on that?
Oh, that's good. Why'd you go on this journey? What persuaded other people? Because you're going to use that similar tactics and messaging to get kind of the press and attention or an audience attention.
Every film project is an adventure, and everyone has beaten incredible odds to get there. Even the big ones, it's like the odds are stacked against them, and tell it like that. Here's how I beat the odds. Here's how I did it, and here's 5 times on the brink of giving up, and this is what happened to me. Don't just say, "Yeah,
Wow.
I talked to this guy and he raised some money, and then we started shooting." And
we used to say like, what is the story of your marketing? Like this is like how, like, tell us more about how is the film getting out there? What is the story that's interesting? Because that sounds like the creative story about how the film was made. Do you think journalists or the trades journalists or maybe even audiences find the business story interesting? Like, how did it get made? Or how was money raised? Or now you didn't make it to Sundance. What are you doing? Are the business stories interesting?
yeah, I mean, you don't want to get too deep into deal terms and all that, but yes, if you had to raise like $400,000 to make this movie. Like, where did that come? How do you persuade people to give you $400,000? I couldn't persuade people to give me $400,000 for anything. So how did that come together? All these TV shows like Silicon Valley, like,
Oh, yeah.
it always starts with like, okay, there's some sort of obstacle. We can't get the research grant unless we get this person to sign off on that. And and they spend the episode like trying to overcome that hurdle.
Yep.
And that happens a million times in the course of making a movie. So
I guess like if you can tell the story of a hero's journey through the film, you could tell your own hero's journey towards of the making of the film. What about now? I'm biased because I like to read about marketing and distribution strategies because it's what we do. Like, do you think those are interesting both to audiences and like to the trades, or is it just kind of like too in the weeds? Like, unless it's a large number, unless you like made $1 million in one weekend through self distribution, we're not paying attention.
yeah, I mean, if you've got something different and interesting that you did, that wasn't just like, yeah, we made a trailer and we sent it around. Like,
Yeah.
if you have a better story than that to tell, and I'm sure people do, I mean, those stories are always how you made a breakthrough the morning you woke up and found that your little behind the scenes went viral on TikTok. That was another thing Tepper recommended. As soon as you know you're doing this, just film everything that happens. Like,
Yes.
film every meeting, film everybody coming to work and getting their shoes on or whatever. Just film everything and just have lots of footage to do lots of behind the scenes stuff with. You don't want to realize like when your movie's about to open that, oh, we don't have any footage to play with. Our actors are off at other things right now. So
Oh, but no, I read that too. So for anyone who's not familiar, it's Kristen Tepper runs a Substack. I think she works with you too, a bit, Richard.
she doesn't work. I'd love to work with her, but her day job is currently she has a marketing company for independent film, and she's also a writer's assistant.
Ah, okay. For some reason, I thought there was a connection with your writing, but she has a Substack, which I know Ami on our team did a Substack with her yesterday, and it's so good. It's like 26
Yeah.
hot takes, and it's so true. When we see
That was a
films
great
come,
piece.
it was a great piece. Yeah, it was pithy. It was fun. I like when the writing, like it's just a writer, like writing things about the reader, and it made it very easy for me to go about my day and read and get a ton of great information.
And Ami and Tepper there are both smarter than anything I have to say.
So smart. Yes. They're amazing. We're lucky to get to know them and read their Substacks. But it is worth reading. Collect content. She said something about even collect, as you said, the mundane stuff, because you never know when there might be a meme or something topical that's happening that day, and you happen to have footage that's related to that. And we look at the films that come on Kinema, and we see some of the stills we get, and we get like 4 stills. And we're like, what else you got? Like, help us be able to market the film.
You're lucky now. It's digital. Film, taking all this and reserving is cheap. It used to require like 16 millimeter film and big cameras and a lot of money to get it developed, all that. So
now you just got a phone. Really easy.
Yeah. And you can shoot everything and store it for almost free.
Oh, it's true. Yep. It's just the cost of those servers and, little bit of climate, but we're fine. Okay, a couple of questions for you. So we got some tactical stuff. So one of the questions is how earlier is too early or too late? Sounds like there isn't. It's just about building a relationship. It's not about lead time. Are you seeing, in terms of coverage, if your film isn't in theaters and not on a streamer, do you think that is it impossible to get coverage, or on the more industry trade side?
So if you start as an Oscar frontrunner, and if you've got Emma Stone's performance that is sure to win her an Oscar or something like that, a lot of doors open for you kind of automatically.
Right.
It makes it a lot easier. Everything else, you've just got to have a story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you got to have a story to tell, and you got to know where to reach the people that are going to be receptive to that story, and know that there's a lot of cinema fans out there, and reach out to them. So just, know what your story is. And your story can't just be, it's me and I made a movie. Like
we do see that a lot.
Yeah. Have a tale to tell.
Do you think outreach, whether it's to the press or to audiences, is it better if it comes from the filmmaker? I'm going to assume yes in relationship development for a reporter. But is it better if it comes from the filmmaker, or can it be someone from their team? And if the filmmaker, is it sustainable? How do you do that?
If you have a good publicist, there's a lot of for me and for most reporters, a lot of publicists that I have relationships with, that if, someone that I've known for a long time asks me, like, will you come and check out this thing? I think it's really special. And
Mm.
someone who I know and trust, I take that seriously. So that helps. But, if I meet a filmmaker and get to know them, or maybe I know the producer or their company or their financier or someone involved with it, that makes a big difference. Most of the publicity, there's only so much they can do for you. Like when you're going into the machine and they have so many movies every month, and there's only so far they can take you. You want all the help you can get. You can get a publicist or marketer or whatever, great. You don't want to turn down any help, but never just like say like, oh, marketing is not like it's not like getting the utility bill paid. Like
Hmm.
it's something really, really important. It's a big deal. It's as big a deal as making your movie. So if not bigger, because it's it's the part that means everyone will, whether anyone sees your movie or not. So don't just say, oh, that's handled, check it off. Like,
Mm.
you know, be involved and do every single thing you can. I quote, there's a quote from Lyndon Johnson that he would quote his father. It's like that if you do everything, you'll win. Like, so do everything
Wow.
all the time.
That's do all the aspects of the business.
Yeah, and just
Yeah.
don't make one more call.
Yeah.
Go to one more event. Like, you're tired and you want to go home at night. Well, if you go home at night, you know what's going to happen.
Oh, man.
But you go to this weird little event, you don't know what will happen. Maybe you'll meet somebody, maybe you won't. But just if you just go home and lie on your couch, then
This is hitting me. I know this feeling very well. Like it's run a business. And it's true. Like I get so tired. I just can't make it to that. But every time I go, every single time, I'll just meet one more person, and you never know where it's going to turn up. And also competitively, if for filmmakers, if you didn't go, somebody else did. Somebody else went. They went to the Montclair Film Festival. They talked to Richard Rushfield, and now they're getting coverage on their film.
here's a little secret about the world. Everything you want, jobs, publicity, attention, all this stuff, it's all going to come to you from human beings. And if human beings know you and have some affection for you, they're a lot more likely to point at your whatever they have. They're a lot more likely to send it your way than if they have no idea who you are, and you're just one of 1,000 names in their inbox. Like the person they had lunch with 3 weeks ago is going to win over the person with a name. And we think in this digital age that like, oh, there just should be an algorithm that tells everybody that I'm the best and gives me everything. But there isn't an algorithm. There's still just people making decisions, and largely it's on the basis of what they know and what they've seen. So the more people you know, the more people you have connections with, the more you can navigate this world, and the more people you have on your team that can help you. And if you're waiting for the great algorithm in the sky to just deliver success for you, now once in a while, someone puts up a clip on TikTok and it goes viral and takes over the world. Like if that's your plan, if your plan is to win the lottery, then good luck.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, one in 27 million chances that you'll be right. So
It's true. I mean, in putting it in the marketing bucket, yes, some things will go viral, but it's also it's like cotton candy type content. It kind of disappears. There might be a cultural moment. It might become a meme at some point. But that's not sticking. I used to be 7 points. Someone would need to experience your film 7 times before making a transaction or thinking about. I don't know what that is now. It might be more because we're so inundated with so much content. But building a relationship, whether it's with I am a journalist or with an audience or with a community within a Substack or a TikTok, like that is going to be much longer lasting than the kind of blip on the radar.
Human connection is just, it still wins even now.
Ahead.
The There's nothing that can compare to it.
I think that is probably the most perfect advice anyone can give. And I'm still going to push you one and ask, is there, because I think you answered the question with that, of like, what do you think filmmakers, new creators in the space, or even content creators trying to move from social media into traditional entertainment, what do they need to know about the industry or that they don't know?
The Hollywood industry it's a very hard place. It's a brutal place. And like people view it as a zero sum game where your success is their failure. And if you are going to come here, like you have to accept that you're going to be fighting for your place every step of the way. And then once you get that place, you're going to be fighting to keep it every step of the way. It's, it's really hard. It's, there's always, the problem is that there's always, whether you're an executive, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're an actor, there are always 100 people who would take your place in a second. They could. And you just have to come in with the sense like, this is mine, I'm taking it, and I don't care if there's a million people against me, I'm going to be the one who wins. And you have to constantly be making a plan and evaluating how to get there. Most people here know that they're not going to be the next big thing. So they want to ride. So they're looking for that, to ride on the coattails of that. So show people you're at, and show, don't tell. Don't do that by going in and announcing, "Hey, I'm here. The next big thing you've been waiting for. It's me." Show that. Do a screening and turn people away because it's.
Let the work speak for you. If Hollywood is structured in that way, in that there's less room at the top than there is at the bottom, and there is a fight for it. But we have this kind of next wave of filmmakers and creators coming off of the opposite, where it's expansive, where it's like anyone can go direct to audience, and it doesn't feel as like minimal at the top because there are so many different small production teams, and these crews are much smaller. They're running YouTube channels, they're building out influencer networks. Do you think that will there be a shift? Do these creators still want to come to Hollywood, or do you think Hollywood is going to somehow come down to creators?
Traditional filmmaking still remains a prize. And like the creative communities, like they don't need Hollywood. They make more money than they would make being in a movie. A lot of them, they have a bigger audience than a movie would get on YouTube. But there's nothing like movies. Like there's nothing like, and you picture yourself at the Oscar ceremony and you picture your big premiere. There's nothing like that. Being like, supporting actor of the year on YouTube.
Where do you accept your award? Like, is it
Yeah,
virtually? Yeah.
and you walk down the street, nobody knows who you are, and like it's this is the prize, this is the dream, this is whatever movies are. What that and that is the thing. Movies are the best imitation we have of what we dream at night, and that's why it's so seductive. And so many of these influencers are desperate to break into movies and get parts in movies. Having skills in one arena does not mean you have skills in another. And like, there are some basketball players who can also act. Most of them can't.
Mhm.
Then there are some YouTube influencers who can act, but most of them can't. Being able to shoot a 45-second video, it shows you have a certain visual panache. But
Yeah.
compared to telling a 2-hour story, like that you're in a different.
It's true. With like that, with the emotional gravitas, with the payoff at the end, it is entirely a different beast. I think just because they're both video, they get often conflated or compared. And there is some movement. That's why Mr. Beast going to Amazon is the biggest comparison we have right now. So will we see more of that?
A lot of movies are casting these influencers in these minor parts, because then they'll help promote the film and everything. The problem is like acting is a real skill, and like if you don't have it, like you can't just be put in things. Even if you have one line, like I've heard the stories of like, someone puts in their nephew or girlfriend or some influencer, and they can't read one line, and it destroys the scene.
It takes you out of the scene completely. Yeah.
It's like you've ruined it. Like people are watching a movie, and all of a sudden they're like, "What the hell? What is this? What's going on here?" They just can't do that.
I think that's fair. On the acting side, that's true. The difference between there's influencers, there's creators, the actors, I could see that. think one thing that the creator side has is at least access. Anyone can essentially pick up, as you said, your phone, take some photos, camera, go direct to audience. And then we both, whether you're a creator or you're a filmmaker, you have similar marketing problems. Audiences are so fractured, and who they listen to and what they read. They're hard to reach.
Well, the thing I think creators are going to find is like, if you have a Substack presence, you can create a permanent relationship with your audience where you have their email addresses, market to them, where you're in touch with them. That gives you real power. Like, the studios don't know who saw the last Jurassic Park, but like, if you were Mr. Jurassic Park and somehow you had the names of all the Jurassic Park attendees and you had their emails, you would be the most valuable. So if you do something and you can use that to build a list and build a platform of people that are enthusiastic about you and want to come back, that gives you a real advantage. And when you talk about that pyramid, that gives you a real edge in that place.
I feel like you're describing our platform. That's what we try and do. You come in to watch a movie, you attend an event for that filmmaker that someone else hosted. You could email the collection. Again, we care about data privacy and people can unsubscribe. But yes, it's building that direct relationship with the audience through a screening. All right, I got one more question for you, which is broadly, where is this industry going? Where do you see, and I'll speak specific to independent film, coming off of film festivals, looking, the view you have from the marketplace. What do you see happening to independent film in the next 5 years?
So I am really weirdly hopeful. And I've been telling friends that are like figuring out what to do, who have like lost traditional studio jobs, that like, I feel like we're where independent film was in like 1987 or 1988, when it was still called art house before it became independent film. There were all these things bubbling up and you couldn't see that there was an explosion brewing, but somehow, at Sundance with Steven Soderbergh and Sex, Lives, and Videotape, they just came together and all exploded. And you have now like the studios retreating from filmmaking. The studios, the one thing we know for sure is 5 years from now, the studios will be releasing a lot fewer films than they do now. And now they release a lot fewer films than they did 5 years ago. You have the ability of, we talked about, the filmmakers to market directly. The means of production are so much cheaper. The ways to raise money, there's all kinds of creative ways you can do it, crowdsourcing, and the creativity is coming from the digital world. I think all this will bubble up. So the thing that is missing, I feel like, is that the independent world has gotten into this sort of sad sack place where they've given up on doing things that will reach a big audience. They are doing these depressing, slow-moving little stories that, some of my favorite films are depressing, slow-moving little stories. But like, when independent film broke through, movies like Sex Life and Videotape and Pulp Fiction, all that, Little Miss Sunshine, these were like genre films that were done with independent tools and independent voice. They were not like, we're going to challenge you with this.
Right. They were entertainment. They were good entertainment.
Yeah, they were not there to test your ability to stay in the seat.
Oh man,
which seems to be the goal of a lot of films I see at festivals. So it's just, independent film world has to start swinging for the fences again, and that is the element that I think is missing. But if they can get to that point, I think there's great things ahead.
I love that. Okay, great. Well, we've got a lot of marching orders in this and some really good advice and great perspective. I especially appreciate that the part about a human connection as we all grapple with where AI is influencing us and impacting us and growing. Just a reminder that no AI is going to replace a human being when it comes to the relationships and kind of, in short, getting ahead.
Famous last words, but
yeah, that's true.
Let's hope so.
AI is listening now. This is actually our AI avatars. It's not really.
I'm not actually a real columnist. I'm just a program. I'm
You're just a program.
Richard Rushfield bot from.
Richard, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time chatting.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Oh, and last thing real quick. Sorry. And where can people find you? We can find you at theankler.com.
Yeah, ankler.com. Richard, you want to write me? Richard at theankler.com. And we also at the Ankler, we have a program called The Ladder for up-and-coming filmmakers. Very, very discounted way to get in there that has networking opportunities and all that. So check that out.
Oh, that's awesome. Actually, I did not know that. Okay, cool. We'll plug that in all the show notes. All right. Thank you again. And that's our episode. Thank you to our special guest, our producer and editor, Ron Pissarro, and you, the filmmakers, creators, marketers, and distributors that are dedicated to connecting audiences with great films.